And no.
Thank you very much.
So we have a few announcements tonight, and before we do that though, I just wanted to sort of prep your hearts and your minds for the next series that we're going to start. Let's pray. Gracious, wonderful, loving God, we give you thanks for this night.
So, first question. Alright, so first question is, what worries you or exhausts you spiritually? What brings you down?
The lack of concern of everybody for others.
The constant distractions of everyday life.
Honestly, it's just constantly at work, like hearing story after story from different coworkers, people, about how they've been burned by the church.
Generally anxiety on anything and everything.
Basically hurtful words, and I think basically people's just thought on the church or about God in general, and how they just give up, and people's lack of faith kind of just makes me sad because I can't fix it sometimes.
Just constantly being bombarded by television, music, everything, work, school, it distracts you from God and just what He's trying to do in your life.
Situations or whatever that have just turned off their opinion, their view, and their any desire to go to the church. It's just like people don't care to have any desire to go to worship, to be, or even encounter God at all, because they've been burned by it, by so many people, by the church itself.
School, health, financial situation, and depending on what time of the year, it can be all three things at once.
Y'all are good, by the way.
Was that recording?
Yes, it is. So you can
like,
talk,
hear
but
us.
just kind of bring the level down.
Over there. Like,
second question, what
love
can the
Jesus
church do
so much.
to come alongside you and help?
So I think like with the church, I know every church is not perfect, but I think that if people were more open and willing to accept people, I think that would have a lot to do with how people view the church, and also have a lot to do with how I was perceived as a Christian or as a person in God's eyes. You know, people look down for the fact that I'm a Christian because they give me that condescending definition of what a Christian should be, and if I don't live up to that, then they look down. But if a church is accepting and they accept people for who they are and where they're at in life, then I think that things would be a whole lot easier to cope with if you mess up. And I think that the church should just show God's love, because that's what it's all about, and a lot of churches don't show it as well as they should, and I think that's what we're here to do, you know, be God's disciples. And if we're His disciples, we're supposed to help the sheep, you know, feed them and grow them in the light, you know, so that's all about love and being who God wants you to be.
Accessibility would be number one. Just always have people that are here to show love, to give you godly advice, wise people that know what they're talking about. And like I said earlier, just show love to everyone, no matter what they've done, where they've been. Just be there for the trials that the people are going through, and don't judge them no matter what. Just you show them love, and that's it. That's the point of the church, is love.
Revival. I mean, in order to be able to get somebody like that who's in a completely secular field, whether it's my field or just automotive, to something different, getting somebody to actually say, hey, I want to go to church, hey, let me give this another try. Change. I had a coworker who, his brother and his brother's best friend committed suicide when he was 14, and the pastor came and told him that God had a plan for all this. And, you know, that is very true, God does have a plan for that, but you know what? Working on being able to tell a kid, you know, at 14, you know what, this does suck, but you know what? We're here for you. We're here to love you. Just loving people does more than trying to impart advice. Sometimes saying nothing says more than anything.
We'll just be there to talk. Just have a group or something that can be there to discuss what's going on, to maybe help alleviate some of it, because, you know, in my opinion, church shouldn't just be something that you go to for spirituality. It should be a community effort, and, you know, there's more to life than just spiritual. So, church should represent life in general, have more than just spiritual things to offer.